I was a happy John. I'd never experienced anything like it. It was simultaneously the most intense and most comfortable relationship I'd ever been in. Adam and I didn't really go on dates. It was more just assumed that if we both had free time, we'd be spending it together, and that I'd be spending a night unless I had an opera performance the next day. I just felt so safe and relaxed. It was like I didn't have to try. I didn't have to be this super outgoing guy, or the overly optimistic one, or some goody two-shoes overachiever. It felt like the first time in my life I was allowed to have cracks and fears, morning breath and bedhead. I like waking up next to you, I'd say. Well, you're really good at it. He was always saying ridiculously cute things like that. First thing waking up, or on the phone, or at the door, he'd always say, "Hi, John Coons." I just liked that he used my full name. It made me feel special. I love the wrinkles around your smile. They make this box. It's like you're quoting a smile. Right? It killed me. Just made you want to roll your eyes at him, or grab him, throw him down on the bed, and rip off his pants. Or kiss him, you know. And yes, the sex was incredible. I'd fooled around with previous boyfriends, but it never felt really comfortable. In fact, Adam was the first guy I felt comfortable enough with physically and emotionally to go all the way. I didn't feel the need to impress him. I felt like I could be inexperienced and have that not be a bad thing. Because Adam let me be nervous, I wasn't. We were lying in bed after our first time. I had my head on his chest, listening to him breathe, and he was running his fingers through my hair, and then he stopped. "You've got a gray hair." "What?" "Yeah, you've got a gray hair right here." Shut up. I was livid. I did not get my first gray hair before I had sex for the first time. And that was the story of my first gray hair. So yes, the physical chemistry was definitely there, and with me that's something that shouldn't be understated, but that wasn't my favorite part about my relationship with Adam. I'm a deep conversation-ophile, or maybe just a really good, honest conversation-ophile, rather than a, "Hey, I took Philosophy 101, let's get baked and watch The Matrix"-ophile. If you're a Myers-Briggs geek like me, and who isn't, Adam was an INTJ and I was an INFJ. Yeah, for those of you not familiar with the Myers-Briggs, it's a psychological personality indicator test that basically describes how a person processes things and interacts with the world. Saying that Adam was an INTJ and I was an INFJ meant that he was basically Ayn Rand and I was Gandhi. Basically. No hyperbole or anything. Needless to say, we had arguments as only a liberal Catholic and atheist anarchist could. Most of the time it boiled down to me believing in too much and him not believing in anything, although if he heard me, he would shoot me for saying that. These were big idea debates, capital letter debates. There's really only been two people in my life that have ever got me 100%. One of them, the aforementioned Bama boy from Mobile, Alabama, was an INFJ like myself. The other was Adam. It's very frustrating to have somebody in your life who actually gets you in the way you think and yet come at things from a completely different set of values. It was like we were two trains rushing head-on towards each other in a dark tunnel. Naturally, I was unapologetic for everything. My faith, my artistic nature, and my paisley bathrobe.
Looking out on the world, do we see the same things? Time and space, things out of and you changed me. Stripped me down and made me cry. Made me ask why I thought I had things to hide. And if some things are worth fighting for, and if they are, what am I waiting for? So now what do you see when you're looking at me? A man with two good legs and a crutch. Someone who could do so much. Oh, if only, oh, if only. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint, but I like messy truths, not things so clinical and prescribed that seem so cynical when described to me. Truth ain't a teacher, she's a lover, a book with no back cover. And she's not some dusty pile of bones waiting round to be rediscovered. Truth isn't finished growing, and it isn't known by knowing, but doing. It's not the belief, it's the believing. It's in the giving, not receiving. It's in the question, not the clue. Not in what we hold, but who. And truth be told, I found some truth in you. You say there's no truth unknowable, nothing unshowable. Well, just to prove you wrong, try to guess the ending of this song. You'll never know what I almost said. You'll never know. You'll never know. You'll never know.
Time was flying by. Days bled into nights, turned into weeks, and suddenly this amazing thing, this relationship unlike anything I'd ever had before, had morphed into a countdown. The flip had happened. We now had as much time left as we had already spent together. This was my first real relationship with a built-in expiration date, and it started to feel like we were getting robbed of a real chance, like our relationship had this inoperable tumor, and it started to take a toll on me. I'm an introvert, even if sometimes I'm bad at it, like being a performer or writing a one-man show about my life. But I think about things a lot. I'm almost always inside my own head, even when I'm around other people. Some people in my life found this a bit off-putting, but most are either oblivious to it or just accept it as something you have to deal with in order to be friends with me. But I never really dated somebody who was also always inside his own head, wheels spinning. Don't get me wrong, I liked that Adam and I didn't always have to talk. There was a certain flavor of silence we shared that was damn near perfect. But in some ways it felt like relationship karma coming back around to smack me. I was the one that was used to being asked, "What you thinking?" Suddenly I'd been thrust into a very intense relationship with someone who could out-introvert me. There should be a reality TV show called When Introverts Attack, and it should just consist of two people sitting in a room quietly until one of them cracks. It could be scored by John Cage. If you get that joke, we should be friends.
Hey, you there on the other side of the bed. Where are you tonight? It's lonely here in the world outside of your head. I hope I know you live in a world of gears and ideas, always wondering how to make things better. Are you wondering now how we could be better? A penny for your thoughts that have got you all locked up, the ones that blur your eyes. You're fading fast and running out the clock. Our nights are flying by. Don't shut me out, not when I finally found someone that I feel that I could open up to. I can disappear too, I can stare at ceilings too. I can wonder all about where we'll be 3 weeks from now, about what we're doing here, when you made it painfully clear that when you're gone we're done, and if after you I'll ever find someone. No white pill